सुजन मन माही वेद पुराण संत मत ये हूँ वेद पुराण संत मत ये हूँ सकल सुकृत फल राम सने हूँ सकल सुकृत फल राम सने हूँ नामो लेत भव सिंधु सुखाई करऊं विचार सुजन मन माही हे जी करऊं विचार सुजन मन माही। परम सौभाग्य है,
we are extremely fortunate that we all gather here and we are doing the Sankirtana or chanting together. It's mentioned in Ramayana about the chanting by Tulsidas ji. He says that in this material world where we are living, this world is called the ocean of misery, and we all are stuck in that, and we take so many births and deaths, and although we try hard, but we cannot get rid of this material world or body on our own pursuit. But it's mentioned by Tulsidas ji that if we take or chant the holy names of the Lord, then this ocean of misery that is this material world gets dried up very easily, and the cycle of birth and death is broken. So, oh gentlemen, and please understand or contemplate that this is the only way to get rid of this repeated cycle of birth and death. All the Vedas and the 18 Puranas and all the saints and sages have concluded that in the second line of this verse, it's mentioned that all the saints have concluded that in this world or in this life or in this numerous births that we've done and whatever good deeds that we have performed, and the fruit of all that good deeds that we have done is this opportunity to chant the holy names of the Lord. So we all who are chanting together the holy names is the fruit of our good deeds done in the numerous births that we have taken.
इस प्रकार से हरि नाम का जाप करना और सारे वेदों में सारे शास्त्रों में
In all the Vedas and the scriptures, the Mahamantra is glorified. Harivansh Puran mentions in this verse in front of your screen.
Vede Ramayane Shaiva Purane Bharate Tatha Adavante cha madhye cha Adi ant cha madhye cha Hari sarvatra gīnyate Hari sarvatra gīnyate हरिवंश पुराण में कहते
So
हैं
in Harivansh Puran it's mentioned that all the Vedas, the Atharvaved, Samved, Yajurved, and other Ved. And so in all the Vedas and the Ramayana that is written by Valmiki ji or even Tulsi Das ji, and not only that, but all the Puranas and in Mahabharat as well, so all these holy scriptures, so in all the Shastras, in the beginning, in the middle, and at the end, only one thing is told repeatedly, that is that is the glory of the holy names. And to chant such holy names is the prime responsibility and an extreme fortune to do so. Sometimes we think in our heart, we are chanting the holy names of the Lord, or we might do it. But what is the best name of the Hari? Because Krishna has millions and billions of names. So out of 18 Puranas in Brahman Puran, this verse is mentioned in front of your screen. It mentions that by Vyasmuni that which is the best name in Harinam.
Phalam Ekavritya tu Krishnasya Ekavritya tu Krishnasya Namekam Tata Prayachati Namekam Tata Prayachati हरि के हजार नाम कृष्ण के करोड़ नाम.
So it's said that Hari has 1,000 names and Krishna has crores of names. So in Brahman Puran, Vyasmuni writes that out of the thousands, that is the Vishnu Sahasranam. So in Vedas, some things are mentioned in short forms. So instead of saying Vishnu Sahasranam, they're saying Vishnu's, they're saying Sahasra. As we also sometimes say Sindhu, instead of saying Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu or Nectar of Devotion. So out of the 1,000 names of Vishnu, and that too taken thrice, so if you multiply 1,000 names of Vishnu by 3, that means 3,000 times taking the name of of Vishnu is pious. So if we chant 3,000 names of Lord Vishnu, the fruit that we get is that same result is reaped if we say just the name of Krishna once. So if we say 3,000 times the names of Vishnu is equivalent to one time saying Krishna. So if we chant 3,000 times the name of the Vishnu is equivalent to one name of Lord Shri Krishna. But when we chant the holy names or Mahamantra, then people say that this mantra that you chant is incorrect because it should be Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So let me give you the proof from Atharva Ved that how this mantra should be recited and in which order. So if you see in the verse in front of your screen that whether the holy name should start from Ram or Shri Krishna. Our Satyabhama Mataji is clicking pictures because she's thinking that this is a very important verse. So some say that we should chant from Hare Ram, others say that we should chant from Hare Krishna. But we don't need to be confused. In Atharva Ved, it's mentioned that this is the fundamental mantra, and it should be chanted in this order, and that is the prime principle. So first we should say Hare, then Krishna, then we should say Ram. And this is the verse from Atharva Ved. So whether it was changed during the changing times by the sages or by the philosophers, we don't know, but this is the actual way it should be chanted. And but all of you, the chant is extremely powerful. So, so we get so much bliss and pleasure because everyone is competing to chant in a higher tone. So there might be people who might criticize, because people like to say, but we should chant the holy names in high tone and with everybody. So sometimes people say that why we are chanting the holy names on Zoom collectively, why can't we chant alone on our own? So we all can chant on our own, but we all know when we are chanting alone what quality we chant, we know, and even our Lord knows. So it's always better to chant collectively. And especially on this Zoom platform of Amrit Charcha, sitting with so many devotees together is this is mentioned. Sometimes it happens that chanting the names and seeing the mobile, but, but doing this much, how much beneficial it is present in front of your screen.
जप तो हरि नामानी स्थाने शत गुणाधिक। कितनी सुंदर बात। फिर से जप तो हरि नाम जप, जप तो हरि नामानी स्थाने शत गुणाधिक। आत्मानं च पुमानत्यु, आत्मान च पुनात्यचु। जपन्तो तत्पुनाति च, जपन्तो श्रुति पुनाति च। So Vishnu Dharmottar में कहा गया,
So in the Vishnu Dharmottar it's mentioned that when we chant with collectively with all the devotees together, then what is the benefit? So we all understand that Japto Harinam means chanting the holy names.
हरि नाम, ठीक है, इतना समझ में आ गया। तो जप तो हरि नामानी, अब नामानी माने बहुवचन, माने बहुत।
Namani means the plurals, like saying multiple times
10 माला 8 माला
Harinam.
जप तो हरि नामानी, जप तो हरि नाम स्थाने। यदि हम हमारे घर पर
And if we sit alone and we chant the holy names, and instead of not chanting alone, but if we chant with the devotees in a high volume or pitch, then the fruit that we achieve is 100 times more.
जप तो हरि नामानी, हरि नाम जाप अकेले में करेंगे और उससे जो फल मिलेगा उससे 100 गुना अधिक, 100 गुना अधिक फल प्राप्त होगा। कैसे?
So how we are going to get more benefit is when we chant in higher pitch and we sit with devotees and chant. And the reason is given in the second line of this verse, that if we chant alone in this Kali Yuga, we all know what the quality is. So this is the Yuga of Sankirtan. So the bhakti or chanting that we do collectively is far more better. Because if we chant alone, then only it is beneficial for us. And how much we chant, seriously, we all know. But when we chant in a higher pitch in front of devotees, then the people who all are seeing, hearing, so whatever chanting we are doing here, 10 lakh people watch, even if they watch only for 3 seconds. But at least 10 lakh people see, and this is the analysis of the Govind TV. So every day, 10 lakh people see or listen for a second or two also
लेकिन इस प्रकार
is
से भगवान के गुणों
beneficial.
को उच्च स्वर में करने से जितने भी लोग देखते सुनते हैं उन सब का उद्धार होता है।
And it
जब हम
benefits
इस
everyone.
एकांत में हरि नाम जाप करेंगे
So,
तो एक
therefore,
गुना फल मिलेगा
if we
और समूह में
chant
सबके
alone,
साथ उच्च स्वर
then the
में हरि नाम
fruit
जाप
is
करेंगे
one time, while
तो
if we
शत
chant
गुना
collectively,
अधिक
it's
100
100
गुना
times
अधिक फल
more.
प्राप्त होगा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। तो इस प्रकार से
So,
हरि
in
नाम
this way, Harinam is
और भक्तों
magnificent
ने
and
सुना
glorious. And as we heard
प्रश्न पूछा
yesterday, I was asked a
कि
question.
पीयूष घोष
Piyush Ghosh
हमारे भारत से कलकत्ता
is
हावड़ा
from
से
Kolkata, India,
वेस्ट बंगाल इंडिया से पीयूष जी का ये प्रश्न है।
and he
वे कहते हैं
asked,
कि हाउ डू आई नो दैट आई एम डूइंग भक्ति इन अ राइट वे। मैं कैसे समझ सकता हूँ
so how can I
मैं ये जो
understand
भक्ति करता
that
हूँ
I am
ये
doing
मेरी भक्ति
bhakti in a correct
मार्ग में जा
form?
रही है,
How
परफेक्ट
can
है,
I judge or analyze
मार्ग में जा
whether
रही है।
I'm progressing
कई बार
in the bhakti or
समझने के लिए
is
भक्ति तो
it
करते हैं
that I'm doing
लेकिन
it
उसमें भक्ति
correctly or
होती
not?
नहीं है, वो कुछ और ही होता
So
है।
sometimes we feel that
तो
we are
बहुत
doing
सुंदर प्रश्न
bhakti or
पूछा
pure devotional service towards
कि
the
हाउ
Lord,
डू आई
but
नो
actually we are not
कि मेरी
doing the
भक्ति राइट
same.
पाथ पर है।
So Piyushji is asking the same
और
question.
इनके माध्यम से आप सबको कहूंगा
So through his
कि
medium,
हमारी
I would
भक्ति
like to tell you
राइट
that.
पाथ पर जा रही है, इसका मीटर क्या है?
So what is the
बहुत सारे
meter
मीटर
to
हैं,
judge
लेकिन
whether
इसका
we
एक
are
मीटर ये है
doing
कि
the
हमें
service
हरि
towards
नाम
the
में
Lord?
रुचि हो रही है कि नहीं।
So the
हमें
first
भगवान
and
के नाम
foremost
में
is
उत्साहित
whether we are getting
आनंद आ रहा है या
attracted
नहीं।
to
ये हमें
chanting the
देखना
holy
है
names of the
क्योंकि
Lord.
कई
Are we
बार
getting the pleasure
हरि
while
नाम करने
chanting the holy names?
सारे सारे हमारे कर्म
So
या
all
सारे सत्कर्म
our
हरि
good
नाम
deeds or
पर ही डिपेंड
satkarma
करते हैं।
depend on
यदि हरि
how we
नाम में रुचि
chant
बढ़ रही
our
है तो समझो हम राइट पाथ पर
holy
हैं। और
names.
पीयूष जी मैं
And
भी
if
यही
we
कहूँगा
are doing
कि हम बहुत लोगों का प्रवचन
or
सुनते हैं,
enjoying
बहुत
that,
लोगों की कथा
then
सुनते हैं,
we understand that
लेकिन
yeah,
जब
we are
चेक
doing
करना
it
हो
correctly.
ये
And
प्रवचन करने वाला सही है या गलत,
if we
ये हमारे
want to
ऊपर
check
नहीं है,
whether a
तो
person who
उस
is
प्रवचन का
preaching is
कहाँ
going in
गंतव्य
the
उसका
correct direction or not,
पर्यवसान
then
हरि नाम होना
we
चाहिए।
should judge
उनके
by
प्रत्येक
thinking
स्टेटमेंट,
that if
प्रत्येक कथा का सार
the
सही है।
conclusion of
हरि नाम
whatever
की ओर
he is
आपको
saying
बढ़ना
or the
चाहिए।
essence of whatever he
ये
preaches
सारे वेद
should
शास्त्र में
be
आदि मध्य और अंत में हरि
the
नाम का ही
chanting of
वर्णन
the
है।
holy names,
और ये
because all the
कंक्लूजन
Vedas
कोई भी
and
सुनाए,
Shastras or
कोई भी
scriptures
रामायण महाभारत कहीं भी, लेकिन
sings
कंक्लूजन
the
हरि नाम में है
glories of
तो
Harinam or
परफेक्ट पाथ
chanting.
पर है।
And if
और
the
यदि
conclusion of
हरि
the
नाम की
preacher
कथा
is
कितनी भी
this,
अच्छी हो
then
लेकिन कंक्लूजन हरि नाम नहीं तो
it
परफेक्ट
is
पाथ
the
नहीं।
correct path.
सो हम
Otherwise,
कैसे
it's
समझे
not.
कि हम सही
So,
पाथ पर जा
how
रहे
can
हैं?
we understood,
यदि भगवान
understand
के नाम में
whether we are
रुचि
going
बढ़
on a
रही है
correct path or
तो
not?
समझो हम सही पाथ पर
So,
हैं।
if we are chanting and we
यदि
are
हरि
getting
नाम में रुचि बढ़
pleasure,
नहीं रही है तो समझो कुछ कहीं ना
if
कहीं
our
गड़बड़ है,
attraction towards the
हम
holy
उसको
names
सही
of the
कर रहे
Lord
हैं।
is getting attracted,
और एक प्रश्न
then
है
we
एक
should
बच्चे का,
judge or
इसमें
understand that
हमारे
we are on the right
जूम
path.
अमृत
So,
चर्चा का ये मेंबर है,
so
गौर
this
कृष्ण दास इनका नाम
Gaur
है।
Krishna Das is also a member of our Zoom family, and this child has asked a question,
आंध्र प्रदेश से है।
and he is from
तो
Andhra Pradesh,
गौर कृष्ण पूछ रहे हैं
and he is
कि
asking
अपने मन को स्थिर कैसे करें।
how to
देखिए
control
कभी
the
कभी 5-7 साल के बच्चे इतना अच्छा
mind.
प्रश्न पूछते हैं, बड़े बूढ़ों को ये बुद्धि नहीं आती।
So
कितने समझदार ने
sometimes
प्रश्न पूछा है कि अपने मन
even
को
small
स्थिर
kids
कैसे
ask such
करें।
an intelligent question.
देखिए मन
What a
को
beautiful
स्थिर
question
करना
he has asked.
ये
So,
बालक की भी आवश्यकता है, जवान
so to
की भी
control the mind
स्थिर करने की आवश्यकता है।
is
क्योंकि जब तक
necessary
मन
for
स्थिर नहीं
everyone,
होगा
whether
तब
kids,
तक
a
हम
young man,
तो
or
ठीक से ध्यान दे
even
सकते हैं,
an old person.
कंसंट्रेशन ठीक से नहीं हो सकता। जब
Because
तक
if
मन स्थिर
we
नहीं होगा हम
our
दूसरे
mind
काम
is
कैसे
not
कर
controlled,
पाएंगे।
we cannot concentrate on our study or in our work. We cannot be successful any of our work. There is a saying that मन के हारे हार है, मन के जीते जीत. That means that if our mind is happy, then we are also happy. If the mind or heart is not happy, then we are sad. So it's mentioned that if we want to control the mind or intellect, then so mantra comes from man plus tra. Tran means the to control. So if we chant the holy names of the Lord, then we are able to control our mind and we can be successful in every walk of life. So there is another one pastime from Maharashtra. There was a great devotee of the Lord. So Sant Namdev ji was a great devotee of Vittal ji, and his wife was Janabai. And her attraction towards the holy name and the glory that she presented, we should understand from her life. Although she was born in a small village and they were not much affluent, and her father was in the business of producing oil from the seeds. So his 5-year-old daughter Jana, he went to Pandharpur to have the darshan of Lord Vittal Dev. They stayed there for a while, and that time Sant Namdev ji also used to stay there. And Namdev ji used to do the chanting, and this 5-year-old girl used to dance when he used to chant. And people used to gather to see her dancing in ecstasy. And when they were about to come back to their village, this 5-year-old Jana said, I don't want to come back with you. I want to stay here. So his father said that I have to go to the village. So he took his daughter to Saint Namdev and he accepted her as a disciple. And when so Namdev ji gradually went to Bhagvatam and she used to stay in a hut and chant the holy names, and now gradually she was becoming old. And while she used to work, she used to chant the holy names as you all chant. So this Janabai used to make cow dung cakes, and while doing that, she constantly used to chant the holy names.
Bhajo, bhajo, bhajo mana Pandurang Vithala Pandurang Vithala Pandarinath Vithala Pandurang Vithala Pandarinath Vithala Bhajo 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 Mana Pandurang Vithala. निरंतर भगवत कीर्तन
constantly used to chant the holy names of the Lord, and she used to make cow dung cakes. So she had a neighbor was a there was a woman who was very envious of Janabai, and she always used to criticize her, and she was very much envious of her. And one day she stole all the cow dung cakes of Janabai, and as she was leaving the place after stealing them, Janabai saw her and catched her red handed, and she said that these are mine, cow dung cakes. And the neighbor said, no, these are mine. So they were arguing with each other. And then the king saw or heard that there is a beautiful woman who sings the glories of the holy names. So he sent his detectives that go and find out that woman. So these associates of the king, they they saw that and they asked what's going on, and they said that we have criticized or we are fight arguing over the cow dung cakes. And so she said that I am Janabai, and they said they said that we have heard that you are a great devotee and you are arguing for cow dung cakes. So collect all these cow dung cakes and come with us to the king. So they came to the king, and the king said, tell truthfully what's going on. So Janabai said that she is envious of me and she has stolen my cow dung cakes. But the neighbor also was pure, filled with confidence, and she was lying with confidence that no, these are mine. So now there are no logos on the cow dung cakes. So how we are going to understand who's who is this cow dung cakes belong to? So earlier that time there were no forensics or DNA as well. So the person who is lying always tell it with more confidence. So king asked whether do you have any proof that these are your cow dung cakes? So she said that I do all my household work, chanting the Hari Nam or chanting the holy names. And if if you keep the cow dung cake near your ear, you can hear the chanting of the holy names. And the king realized that the chanting of the holy name was coming from the cow dung cakes. So I just mean to say that if we have faith, then our every part of the body can have the power of the Harinam. And when we sing or chant together, it can affect, even if it can affect the non-living cow dung cakes, then why not the living beings can be benefited from the chanting of the holy name. So we should all chant togetherly. You all gather together here on a daily basis to chant the holy names. So I thank you all and I wish that you are safe from the evil eye. And gradually the quality of the chanting increases. So let's start the Bhagvat Katha with Sankirtan, because Sankirtan is also is chanting the holy names. So when we do Sankirtan, I saw Satyabhama Mataji and two or three others were dancing, and I felt glad. And I thought that why not everybody dance? Because if we chant, because it's very much beneficial. It's mentioned in Brihat Naradiya Upanishad, it's mentioned that if we dance along with chanting the holy names, so we can chant the holy names while sitting, but when we are doing it in a melody, singing and dancing, then
शब्द पकड़िए, संकीर्तन ध्वनिम श्रुत्वा ये च नृत्यन्ति मानवा तेषां पादरजस्पर्शा तेषां पादरजस्पर्शान् सद्य पूता वसुंधरा सद्य पूता वसुंधरा. बृहद नारदीय पुराण.
So, in Brihat Naradiya Puran, Sri Vedvyas ji writes that when we sing the holy names in melody and when we hear that, then there are two types of people. One who sit stiffly on chair and the others are who start dancing. So when somebody hears the Sankirtan and a person, if he's a human, will not be able to resist dancing. And if somebody listens and dancing the holy names, so when we stand on the earth, it touches the earth. So when the dust of the lotus feet of the devotee who is dancing, then that time even the earth get purified. So by the dust of the devotees of the Lord who dance gets purified and it also starts to dance. And she becomes ecstatic that great is my son who is dancing on me. So it all depends on you what you want to do.
जय जय नवल किशोर जय गोपी चित चोर प्रभु जय गोपी चित चोर प्रभु जय जय माखन चोर जय जय माखन चोर. श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की. उपस्थित भगवत कथा अनुरागी,
I welcome you all who have attachment towards the Bhagavad, all the devotees who have gathered here, especially the Vaishnavas or senior devotees of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness, who has decorated this forum. I also heartily welcome you all who have come together on through the medium of YouTube, Facebooks, etc. And I especially welcome the organizers who have organized this katha to get the pure devotional service towards the Lord, to get Krishna Prema in the reverie of their ancestors, Lakshmi Narayanji, Murti Devi, Uma Mata. So, by taking the blessings of all these ancestors, they have organized this beautiful katha, and I thank the Bharadwaj family and all the kids, Aryan, Mayank, Divyansh, Anshika, Narayan Hari, Priya, and Navya. Today is Navya's birthday. So she is the daughter of Rajesh ji, and this is the yug. We didn't organize this katha seeing the dates, but in between the katha, we have this Navya's birthday, and that too on a auspicious day of Bhaimi Ekadashi. That is all by the arrangement of Lord Shri Krishna. So I pray, and let's all pray for Navya and bless that she chants very beautifully the holy names and she listens to the Bhagavad Katha. The all Navya means some, which is one of the name of Srimati Radha Rani. I asked, so he said that I was unaware that this is the name of Radha Rani. It's the mercy of the Lord, as Srimati Radha Rani is new every day. That is the meaning of Navya. We pray that she study well and she does her spiritual life also together, and she makes this family famous.
इस संसार में
in this world, the toughest thing to do is to do the pure devotional service towards the Lord, that is bhakti. Although it doesn't cost anything and it doesn't require much hard work, we don't need to put too much pressure, but yet it's still tough to do the pure devotional service of the Lord. So it's mentioned that three things are very difficult to get. First is the human form of life, then liberation, bhakti. And when we have reached the platform, that although the pure devotional service of the Lord is tough, But we have come to an understanding that without doing the bhakti or pure devotional service towards the Lord, we cannot break the cycle of birth and death. And if we want to do bhakti, and if we want to do it easily, then there is a very beautiful pastime in Srimad Bhagavatam where Sut Goswami mentions the verse in front of your screen. He says,
यः श्रद्धयेत भगवत्प्रियाणां पाण्डोसुतानाम् इति सम्प्रयाणम् शृणोत्यलं स्वस्तयनं पवित्रम् लब्धाहरोर्भक्ति मुपेति सिद्धिम्. आशा माता को देखकर तुरंत
after seeing Asha Mataji, I got one new thing in my mind.
यहाँ पर चौथी लाइन में है,
So in the fourth line, it's mentioned here.
उपेति सिद्धिम. देखो, अब देखो, मैं ये कह रहा था कि भक्ति करना बहुत कठिन है.
So I was saying that doing or performing the pure devotional service of the bhakti is tough, and on top of it, to to have the bhakti of Hari or the Lord
बहुत कठिन है.
is even more tough.
हरि की भक्ति, हरि माने भगवान विष्णु, भगवान कृष्ण, भगवान.
So Hari means Vishnu, Ram or Krishna, and it is the toughest of all. Why?
जब कोई स्कूल में एंटर होता है,
When somebody goes to school, so the toughest exam or subject is when it is in the top grade.
में जो टॉप ग्रेड होता है वही सबसे कठिन होता है. बाकी नर्सरी, सीनियर,
So
जूनियर के फर्स्ट ग्रेड, सेकंड
nursery, first grade, second grade is not that hard.
भक्ति में भी ऐसा है.
So similarly,
देवी देवताओं
bhakti is
ये सब फर्स्ट ग्रेड
also the same. So
लेकिन हरि की भक्ति,
doing bhakti or pure devotional service of demigods is not that tough, but
ऊंचा धर्म,
the highest
टॉप मोस्ट धर्म है सनातन
of
धर्म.
the dharma is Sanatan,
अन्य धर्मों
and
का पालन करने में बड़ी आसानी है.
that is why it is very easy to follow other religions,
होता है ना,
and people
स्वीकार कर
prefer to
और जो कठिन
go the easy way
नहीं करते.
and they don't take the difficult path.
ये माना गया
But
सनातन धर्म का पालन करना, रूल्स रेगुलेशन बहुत कठिन है, लेकिन टॉप
it is
धर्म है
understood that
और टॉप मोस्ट
it is tough to follow Sanatan dharma, but it is
जो है वो भी टॉप मोस्ट मिलेगा.
tough, but it is the topmost, and the result that we acquire by doing so is also the topmost or highest of all.
लेकिन हमारे गुजराती में एक शब्द है, हिंदी में इसका ट्रांसलेशन हो नहीं सकता. मैं क्या करूं?
There is a word in Gujarati
शब्द मधुसूदन प्रभु
which cannot be translated in Hindi,
शब्द वो वापरવામાં આવે.
especially it's used in Ahmedabad. Sagwade dharma.
बोले सगवड़े धर्म, मतलब जितनी सगवड़ है.
So that means that according to our capacity, we should follow dharma.
इतिहास में क्या हुआ?
So in history, what happened? Dharma is one, that is Sanatan, because the soul has the responsibility to do the service of the Lord, but according to the convenience and according to a qualification, people started creating their own religions. So, so thus, so many religions were created, and Sanatan Dharma became it faded. So what I'm saying is that bhakti is tough, but it's far more tougher to do bhakti or pure devotional service towards Lord Hari or Vishnu, Krishna or Rama. So I want to add that no religion is wrong. We cannot say that this religion is based on lie. No, not any religion is teaching anything wrong. But the purity, the regulations were reduced according to the conveniences. So the highest three religions are Sanatan, then Christian and Muslims or Mohammedans. So if we go to the background of Christianity, you might not be aware, before 2000 years, Jesus was born. So he says that I'm not the God, I'm the Son of God. And for your information, Jesus himself was a follower of Sanatana Dharma. He was a saint. He was himself a vegetarian. But 2000 years before, when Jesus came to this earth and he saw that people were killing each other and were killing animals and performing so many sins. So he said that no meat eating, no gambling. If people will say, if Jesus would have said that no meat eating or gambling or no intoxication, then people would have criticized him. So, or killed him. So, according to the circumstances, he reduced the regulations and he said that you do whatever you want to eat or do, but at least come to the church on every Sunday and get your sins absolved by telling them on Sunday. So at least people, when somebody speaks about their sins, they get a consciousness, and gradually Jesus was telling or bringing them to the consciousness of understanding. So he says in Bible that I want to add more, I want to make you understand more, but you are not qualified enough to understand the intricacies. Similarly, Prophet Muhammad was a prophet and he was a messenger of the God, and he also understood the highest point of Sanatan. But people were man-eaters, and he was born in such a society. And if he would have said that no onion or no garlic, then people would have killed him because they were eating even men. So, understanding the position or condition, he reduced the regulations furthermore. He also added that I want to so, but even if you want to eat, then you should do it halal. So that you so when if they kill the animal slowly, and when they see the animal in so much pain, one day they will come to a realization. And he said that at least Fridays you should come and pray. So they were all starting to civilize the society, but before he could give them the highest, he left the world. And they both have said that religion is further more, and I want to take you there, but they left before they could reveal more. And when they left, the people made it the religion, whatever was revealed to them, and started considering that as the supreme religion. So there is an example. If somebody is consuming 50 cigarettes daily, and a doctor says that you can get cancer, so don't consume 50, but reduce at least to 40. So he will think that okay, at least. So after 2 3 months, he says that now you come to 30, and gradually every 2 months, if after 2 months the doctor is dead, so what does he say? That my doctor has said that I can at least I should have consumed 30 cigarettes a day. So as we do the chanting of the 16 rounds till midnight. So, so the doctor's intention was to reduce from 50 to 40 to 30 to 0. So, so Prophet Muhammad and Jesus wanted to bring them to that level, but they left the world before they could bring them. So, so now they are stuck that I have to consume at least 30 a day because my doctor has advised me to do so. So we need to understand. And moreover, our Sanatan Dharma was divided, and there were so many other paths or subpaths coming from Sanatan, because it is not easy to follow Sanatan. And now people have manipulated the religion according to their convenience. So in Sanatan also, performing the pure devotional service towards the Lord to get that opportunity to serve the Lord is the toughest of all. And such Hari Bhakti can be performed. So we are listening to the Shruti or the fruit of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So there is one pastime in Srimad Bhagavatam. If we listen to that, then we will achieve the pure devotional service towards the Lord. So, so what is that pastime? That the sons of Pandu, that is the five Pandavas, pastime of their liberation or nirvana. So if we do it in detail, then it can be done in 7 days. So I'm just advertising because I'm just telling you the result or benefit of each pastimes in Srimad Bhagavatam. So yesterday we heard the benefit of to satisfy the ancestors, we should listen to the pastime of Gokhand. So let's enter the Bhagavatam. Even in short, so we will listen in detail sometime. You might have heard Bhagavatam so many times, but the pastime of the liberation of the Pandavas is very beautiful, and we should try to listen and understand in detail. So it's mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. So when Mahabharat was ended and Srimad Bhagavatam starts, so in Mahabharat, for 18 days, the war was fought in Kurukshetra, and the last day, Duryodhana was got hurt, and it sung.
હેજી મોભી કુંવરનું માથું અંધની આગળ આવ્યું રે એના મોભી કુંવરનું માથું મોભી કુંવરનું માથું એવા હેજી દુર્યોધનનું માથું અંધની આગળ આવ્યું રે એના મોભી કુંવરનું માથું સંજય આ ફળ શેનું હશે એ જાણ્યું નથી રે જણાતું क्या हुआ मैं आपको प्रसंग बताऊं
Happened, let me share that when Duryodhana was killed and his head was kept on the lap of his father Dhritarashtra, and when his head was placed, he couldn't understand, and he said that what is this fruit? And Sanjay said,
जी कहे के भूली गया क्या सुत जी कहे के भूली गया क्या हाथे वावेली वातो पिताना खोळामा आव्યું रे एना मोभी कुंवरનું माथું संजय कहते हैं कि महाराज
so Sanjay says, I told you so many times, I try to convince that stop this war. Please make your son understand the this this is not the fruit of any tree, but this is the fruit of your misdeeds in your lap. Because Krishna came to you, he says.
कृष्ण कबाड़ी कापवा आयो काग के नो तू कपातू एनु फળ આવ્યું આપની આગળ એનું ફળ આવ્યું આપની આગળ આ તો વિધિ લેખની વાતું અંધની આગળ આવ્યું રે એના મોભી કુંવરનું માથું इतिहास के इन प्रसंगों को हमारे देश के संतों ने क्या वर्णन
the pastimes of our history has been sung by so many great saints. This is a bhajan by Kavi Khak. The majority people here are Hindi speaking, but I'm speaking in Gujarati. But this is so beautiful. How many of you have heard this? That there was the head of Duryodhana placed in the lap of Dhritarashtra, and he's asking, "What is this fruit?" And Sanjay says that this is the fruit of your misdeeds. So Kavikag writes that the Supreme Personality of Godhead came to you as a messenger that just give 5 villages and you rule the whole world. But you and your son were adamant and you didn't agree. And this is the fruit of that in front of you. Had you given those 5 villages, then you wouldn't have seen this day today. So, so this way, Duryodhan was killed and Yudhishthira became the king. And we all are aware that Krishna then saw that everything is perfect now. So he was about to leave Hastinapur. So after Kuntiji's stuti or prayers, he stayed back. And then they went to Bhishma, and even Bhishma left his body and got liberation. So when he saw everything in perfect situation, he took the permission of all the seniors, Kunti, Yudhishthira, etc., and he this comes in the first canto, 11th chapter, that Krishna leaving for Dwarika, and then it says that how he was looking. So this entire chapter 12th is dedicated to Krishna's coming to Dwarika. So now we come to the 13th chapter, so which we are going to discuss. So 13, 14, 15 chapters are to get the pure devotional service of the Lord. So in the 10th chapter, it's mentioned that while this battle was being fought, Mahatma Vidur didn't participated in this war, and he went on the pilgrimage of the holy places because he couldn't see the misdeeds and the bad decisions that Duryodhan was taking. And when he saw that he was not able to guide them properly, so he left, because when there is an offense against the Vaishnavas, then we should try to stop it. And if we are not able to stop, then we should leave. So Suji says that when Vidurji left Hastinapur, he took the fortune of Hastinapur along with him. The Hastinapur became misfortunate or unfortunate when Vidurji left. While Vidurji was in pilgrimage, there was a war, and after the war was finished, Vidurji came back. So it's mentioned in the 13th chapter when Vidurji came. So, so Yudhishthirji welcomed him with open hands. So when somebody comes from a pilgrimage, then it's a great celebration because it's very glorious to go on a pilgrimage. And they washed his lotus feet and took the prasadam. And Yudhishthir Maharaj says that, "Oh, uncle, we want to understand that in these 2 months, where have you went? And please tell us in detail what all the places you covered or visited." So if Vidurji asks that why you want to listen, so Yudhishthirji will say that I want to listen because I want to understand how many lands have become pious. So all these holy places are not that pious, but when a great devotee like you visits such places, then it become more auspicious or pious. And he mentions that in your heart the Lord has manifested, and wherever you have stepped, the land must have been purified. So I want to know where you went. So Vidurji told everything, and Vidurji saw Yudhishthirji is the king, but still Dhritarashtra Maharaj is attached to his kingdom. And one day, after seeing this, he, when everybody in Hastinapur was sleeping, he saw an opportunity and he went to the room of Dhritarashtra where Gandhari ji was sitting. And then Vidurji scolded. So, almost 12 years back, I did a katha in Himalaya where we did it in detail this conversation of Vidurji with Dhritarashtra. So I have two, three verses from there. Let me discuss with you in front of your screen.
बोले ये धृतराष्ट्र महाराज एवं अभी भी गृहेषु सक्ता नाम, अभी भी गृह में आसक्त है.
He says that this Dhritarashtra is still attached to this home and he has gone mad. He is still attached, although all his sons are dead. And Maharaj Vidur understand that before we die, at least we should be detached with all these attachments. So, for the welfare of Dhritarashtra,
बोले धृतराष्ट्र महाराज की मृत्यु अब निकट आ चुकी है, अब
he
मौत.
understood that Dhritarashtra Maharaj will die very soon and still he is attached. So I'm his brother, and outsiders will always say the sweet words, but a person who is dear to us will always give us the great advice. So Vidur Maharaj says,
राज निर्गम्यताम शीघ्रम पश्येत भयम आगतम. बोले धृतराष्ट्र
he
महाराज,
said, "O Dhritarashtra Maharaj, there is no bereft of your attachment with the world. Just understand that this Hastinapur now is the kingdom of Yudhishthir, who is the son of your younger brother. And he gave you this position on a temporary basis. And you got this opportunity, but gradually you should have made Yudhishthir the king. But you were so much attached to your son that you couldn't stop him. And your son did so many misdeeds and sins. So, although you might not be able to see as you're blind, but at least you have your ears. I told you so many times that they poisoned Bhim, made the house of liquor, and Draupadi was ill treated in front of thousands of people. Is this acceptable in a society? And to destroy Pandavas, you did everything. You didn't left any stone unturned. You did everything in your control to finish them. But now that all your sons are dead, still you are attached, and still
एक बहुत बड़ी बात, वैसे तो बहुत
you
कुछ सुना है, लेकिन
are
अंतिम श्लोक जो है ना,
in
धृतराष्ट्र के दिल में बिल्कुल लग गया।
attachment. So the last verse that
अंतिम
Vidur says,
विदुर जी मारते हैं कि
it
अंध पुरैव बधिरो मंद प्रज्ञाश्च सांप्रतम विशीर्ण दंतो मंदाग्नि सराग, हाँ? सराग कफ मुदवहन। आप
so this last verse
अंधे हो, बूढ़े हो चुके हो,
entered
इंद्रियां शिथिल हो गई
the
हैं,
heart of
और
Dhritarashtra.
जीवन भर
He said that now
आपने
you are
जीवन भर
blind and
पांडवों से
old,
द्वेष किया,
and throughout your life you were envious of Pandavas,
और पांडवों से द्वेष करके
and because of your envy towards the
फिर
Pandavas,
ये श्लोक है, जीवन भर पांडवों को मारने का प्रयास किया,
and throughout your life you tried to kill them,
अहो अहो शब्द
and
माने अफसोस कर
now
रहे हैं
aho
कि जीवन
is
भर जिस
oh,
पांडवों ने से आपने दुश्मनी की,
that
उनको मारने का प्रयास किया,
you tried to kill the Pandavas, and now
के भीम के फेंके हुए टुकड़े को
you
खाकर
are
कुत्ते की तरह जीवन जी रहे हो।
eating the
आपने
bites
भीम
thrown
को
away
अपवित्र पिंडम
by
आते
Bhim
गृह पालवत,
like a dog.
कुत्ते की तरह
He
जीवन
treats
जी
you
रहे
like a
हो।
dog, and you are living
अरे एक बार के लिए
such a
संतुष्टि
life.
कर ली तो कर ली,
If you
अब
have
जब हार गए तो
enmity
फिर
towards
लड़ने की
someone,
क्या जरूरत है?
then after
जीवन
getting
भर
defeated,
पांडवों से
why
द्वेष
you
किया,
are living under their
और आज
shelter?
उसी पांडवों के टुकड़े पर पल रहे हो, लज्जा नहीं आ रही है?
Are you not ashamed of yourself?
और बूढ़े हो गए हो,
And
बुद्धि
you're
नहीं
old,
काम कर रही है,
your senses are
फिर
not
क्या
working
असर?
properly, but still you're attached.
इस प्रकार से धृतराष्ट्र महाराज ने दिन भर
Similarly,
दिखा दिए,
Vidur Maharaj
और धृतराष्ट्र और
explained to
गांधारी
Dhritarashtra,
वैराग्य हुआ,
and by this, listening to this, Dhritarashtra and Gandhari
सब सोए हुए थे,
became
धृतराष्ट्र और
detached,
गांधारी
and while they
सब
all were
कुछ
sleeping,
छोड़कर हिमालय के
they
पर्वत
left
भजन करने के लिए, तप करने के लिए निकल पड़े।
for Himalayas to perform their austerity.
दूसरी ओर
On the other hand, in the 14th chapter, Sujji says,
संप्रतिस्ते द्वारकायाम जिष्णु बंधु दिदिक्षया। युधिष्ठिर महाराज ने देखा,
Yudhishthir Maharaj saw
कृष्ण द्वारिका गए हैं, बहुत दिन बीत गए,
Krishna has left for Dwarika
कृष्ण
after
से कोई
so
चर्चा
many
नहीं हुई,
days,
कृष्ण से कोई
and
वार्तालाप
since
नहीं
so
हुआ,
many days there has been no conversation between him. So that time there was no phone, email,
तो
etc.
युधिष्ठिर महाराज ने अर्जुन को कहा कि अर्जुन,
So
भाई
he
तुम एक
told
काम
Arjun
करो, तुम
that
द्वारिका जाओ,
you go to
द्वारिका
Dwarika
जाकर कृष्ण से मिलकर आओ,
and
कृष्ण की
meet
कोई खबर
Krishna
लेकर आओ, कृष्ण
and
की
get
कोई नई लीला
what is
किस
his
किस रीति
condition
से
and
जानकर आओ,
just
बस
understand the
कृष्ण
new
की खबर
pastime of
कैसी
Krishna.
होती है।
I am
धर्मराज
feeling
युधिष्ठिर ने अपने
the
छोटे अर्जुन को
absence of Krishna dearly.
हस्तिनापुर से द्वारिका
So he sent
और
Arjuna to
संप्रतिस्ते
Dwarika,
द्वारकायाम अर्जुन द्वारिका के लिए प्रस्थान हुए,
and
जिष्णु
Arjuna
बंधु
went
दिदिक्षया,
towards Dwarika
अपने बंधु, अपने सखा भगवान श्री कृष्ण को देखने के लिए,
to
देखने
see his friend
खबर लेने। मुझे ये शब्द
or
बहुत
cousin
मैं
Krishna.
आपको तत्कालीन ये दिदुक्षया शब्द से याद आ रहा
So
है।
this Diduksha word, I understand.
श्रीमद् भागवत जी में एक
I
प्रसंग है ना,
remember one pastime. This is
पितामह
a
भीष्म का,
pastime of Srimad
पितामह भीष्म
of
शौर्य से
Bhishma
युक्त
Pitama
होते
in
हैं,
Srimad Bhagavatam,
और
where
स्वयं
Bhishma
कहते हैं
Pitama
कि
is
वशिष्ठ
lying
नारद
on
भृगु
his
अंगिरा
deathbed,
च्यवन अनेकों
and
ऋषि मुनि
all
आए,
these great saints have
क्यों आए?
gathered.
तो
Why have
भागवत में
they
लिखा जाता है,
gathered here? Bhagavatam
द्रष्टुम,
says,
ध्यान से सुनिए, द्रष्टुम भरत पुंगव, कुरुक्षेत्र की रणभूमि में
so on
इतने
the field
सारे
of
ऋषि मुनि क्यों आए?
Kurukshetra, all these
द्रष्टुम
sages
भरत
have
पुंगव,
arrived
भरत पुंगव पितामह भीष्म को
to
देखने के लिए,
see, just to see Bhishma
वो क्या
Pitama.
देखने के लिए आए थे? पितामह भीष्म तो कथा करने वाले थे ना,
No, but
पितामह
he
भीष्म
was
तो
there
कथा
to
करने वाले थे, और ये सारे ऋषि मुनि
preach,
उनको सुनने
and they
के लिए आए
all
थे।
have
लेकिन
gathered
भागवत में
there
क्या लिखा?
to listen to
द्रष्टुम
them.
भरत
But
पुंगव,
Bhagavatam
भरत
says that
पुंगव भीष्म को
they
देखने के लिए आए।
came to
तो
see
किसी को
Bhishma.
देखने का अर्थ
So,
क्या है?
so if what is the meaning of seeing someone?
उनको सुनना, ठीक
Is
है?
to listen to
ये
them.
प्रसंग कभी पढ़िएगा।
So just
दृष्टुम भरत भूमि, मैं
read
तो इस पे
this
बहुत विचार
past
किया
time.
कि यार
So
इस बूढ़े में देखने लायक
I
क्या
have
था, मुझे बताइए।
contemplated on
इस
this.
बूढ़े को देखने के लिए
That
पूरा
what was
कुरुक्षेत्र भर
there
गया,
to
और क्या
see
लिखा क्या
in
है?
this old
दृष्टुम
man?
भीष्म को देखने के लिए आए।
And
अब
that's the only thing that is
450
mentioned.
वर्ष
That
की उम्र है,
a
सर
450-year-old
झुकाने को तैयार
guy
हुआ
who
बंदा
is on his
मनु
deathbed
हो रहा है कि
and
भाई
he's
देखो
about to
आज
die
आज
any
मरा।
time,
अब उसको देखने के लिए इतने
what is
सारे
there to
साधु,
see
इतने सारे
about
पंडित,
him? And they've all
तो
gathered there.
दृष्टुम का
Why?
अर्थ, फिर मैंने उस पर चिंतन किया।
Then I
आचार्यों की
thought a
कृपा से
lot
थोड़ा
and
थोड़ा सा
I
समझने को
read
हुआ। दृष्टुम
from
भरत
the
भूमि,
Acharya,
भीष्म को देखने के लिए आए माने
which
किसी
means
को देखने का अर्थ है उनको
to
सुनना।
see.
एक
Someone means to listen to them
ठीक है।
first,
और
then
अब
second.
जो मैं बताने जा रहा हूँ ये पॉइंट मेन है, प्राण
So
यहाँ
the
पर
main
है।
point is the
किसी
second one,
को
which I'm going to
देखना
discuss.
माने किसी को
To
सुनना,
see
और
someone
किसी को सुनना इसका अर्थ है
and to
किसी
listen
को
to
देखना।
someone is equivalent to see someone.
मतलब आप जिसको सुनना चाहते हैं ना उनको
So if you
देखना जरूरी है।
want to
बिना
listen
देखे
to
सुनेंगे
someone, then you
तो
need
कृपा
to
नहीं
see
है।
them, because
अभी जितने लोग
otherwise you will
Zoom पे
not
बैठे
get their
हैं,
mercy. So
सबको
all
देख
those
रहे
who are
हैं,
sitting
मैं
in the
किसी को
Zoom,
देख रहा हूँ,
they're
ये
seeing
है
me and
वास्तविक
I'm able
कथा,
to
मतलब
see.
वास्तविक
So this is
संवाद, आदान
the
प्रदान, है ना? भाई
actual
एकलव्य होते तो बहुत
interaction
सारे लोग
or
होंगे। एक
exchange.
जानते ना, वो दृष्टि
So there can
आपके
be
सामने नहीं होगा।
many
वो
students
बस
like
वो बस
Eklavya.
नोट्स बनाता रहा और अपनी
He
किताबें
was
लगाता रहा।
making
ऐसे
notes.
एकलव्य भी बहुत होंगे, हमें
uh,
कोई मतलब नहीं है, लेकिन मैं जो इस पॉइंट पर कहना चाहता हूँ कि दृष्टुम
But what
भरत
I
भूमि,
want to add here is
बहुत मेरा 4-5
Drishta.
दिन खा गया ये पॉइंट,
I was
माने पूरा
contemplating
रात
on this
लगाया इस पॉइंट
single
पर
word for
कि
4-5 days,
किसी को
and it
देखने के
gave
लिए
me
सबसे
immense
पहले
pleasure
देखना जरूरी, संत को देखना
to
जरूरी है।
see a
तो साधु को
great
देखना
devotee of the
जरूरी
Lord
है,
is very
ठीक है।
important.
तो यहाँ पर भी ये बहुत सुंदर बात है, संप्रतिष्ठे द्वारकायाम जिष्णु बंधु दिदीक्षया, अर्जुन द्वारिका गए क्यों?
So Arjun went to Dwarika
कृष्ण को देखने
to
के लिए,
see his friend
गोविंद से
Krishna
कृष्ण को सुनने के लिए, कृष्ण
and
से
to
मिलने के लिए,
listen to Krishna.
ददृक्षया। और ज्ञातुम च पुण्य श्लोकस्य कृष्णस्य विचेष्टितम, भगवान श्री कृष्ण की लीला, उनकी चेष्टा को समझने देखने के लिए।
And to understand his pastimes,
जब अर्जुन गए
Arjuna
तो
went.
युधिष्ठिर महाराज अर्जुन की राह देख रहे हैं
So
कि कब कृष्ण का
Yudhishthir was
समाचार
waiting
आएगा,
for
कब कुछ
Arjuna
नई नई
to
बात
get the
अर्जुन
news of
सुनाएगा,
Krishna
कृष्ण की कुछ
and to
लीला
get
सुनाएगा।
new
दिन
pastimes
बीते,
of the
महीना,
Lord.
2 महीना, 4 महीना,
So
श्रीमद्
he
भागवत
waited.
जी में लिखा है
In Srimad
7
Bhagavatam, it's
महीने
mentioned
बीत गए।
that 7
अब
months
7 दिन में
passed,
वापस आ जाते अर्जुन,
because he should have
7
come
दिन
back in
बीत गए,
7 days,
अर्जुन
but
वापस नहीं आए।
7 months passed
और यहाँ पर
and he
धर्मराज
didn't
चिंतित
return.
कि भाई अर्जुन
And
नहीं
Yudhishthir
आया।
Maharaj was worried.
अब वहां क्या हुआ, अर्जुन जब द्वारिका
And what
पहुंचा
happened? When Arjuna went to Dwarika,
कि भगवान श्री कृष्ण
he
अपनी
saw
लीला
that Lord Shri
समाहित करके,
Krishna
अपनी लीला समाप्त करके
has
भगवान श्री कृष्ण
finished
अपने
his
इटर्नल
pastimes
अबोर्ड में वापस
of
लौट
this
गए।
material world and has returned to his eternal
सारे
abode.
देवता द्वारिका में आए थे,
And all the
देवताओं ने
demigods have
प्रार्थना की प्रभु आप
come
हमारे
to
पुकार को
Dwarika
सुने,
and they've prayed that
अब
you
आगे की
came
आवश्यकता नहीं,
here on this
ये
in this material
स्थान आपके रहने को
earth
उचित भी नहीं,
on our behest,
आप
and this
चले
place
जाइए।
is not suitable for you. Now you
तो
should
भगवान श्री
return
कृष्ण
to
अपने
your
वैकुंठ
abode.
में वापस लौटे हैं
And Krishna
और अर्जुन ने देखा कि कृष्ण
goes
नहीं
back
आए।
to his eternal abode.
कृष्ण
And
गया,
Arjuna sees
जब
that
इस प्रकार
Krishna
से
is no
अर्जुन
more
देखता है
there.
मेरा सखा
And
गया,
when he heard that Krishna
तो
has
उसके
left
हृदय में बहुत
this
लगी,
world, Krishna,
हैं?
so Arjun was greatly affected by
फिर
the same.
अग्नि जल पड़ी
And there was a fire of
और
separation in his heart.
अर्जुन भगवान श्री कृष्ण की पत्नियों को लेकर
And
द्वारिका
he
से
took
हस्तिनापुर
Krishna's
पहुंचे
all wives and
और वहां
started
पर
to come
एक श्लोक सूत जी कहते हैं कि अर्जुन की
towards
स्थिति
Hastinapur.
कैसी थी, आप देख सकते
So
हैं
it's mentioned
कि
that what was the condition of
तस्य
Arjuna? you can see
दृष्टा अरिष्टेन चेतसा राज्ञ प्रत्यात अगमत ब्रह्मन यदुपुरिया कपिध्वज। आप श्लोक देख सकते हैं।
so there is a verse in front of your screen that
अर्जुन के मन में बड़ी चिंता थी।
Arjun was extremely worried
मेरा
that
सखा
Krishna has left me, my best friend has left
और
me,
दुखी हृदय से अर्जुन
and with
राज्ञ प्रति आदर
heart
पूर्वक
filled with
हे
sadness,
ऋषियों अर्जुन वापस लौटने लगा।
O
कैसे
sages,
लौटा?
he
यदुपुरी
started coming back
अर्जुन अपने रथ पर सवार
on
होकर
his
वापस लौटा।
chariot,
अर्जुन का रथ
which
कैसा
has
है?
Lord Hanuman,
कपिध्वज, जिस रथ की
Kapidwaja.
ध्वजा पर
So
कपि,
on
कपि माने
the chariot on
हनुमान
which
जी,
the flag
जिस रथ की ध्वजा पर
is,
हनुमान जी बैठे हैं,
Hanumanji
उस रथ में
sits
अर्जुन
on that
सवार होकर
flag,
हस्तिनापुर
and
वापस आए।
on this chariot Arjuna is
तो
coming
अर्जुन
back
के रथ का नाम
from Dwarika.
कपिध्वज, अर्जुन के रथ
So
की
his
ध्वजा पर हनुमान
name
जी
of
बैठे हैं।
his chariot is
तो
Kapidwaja,
यहाँ पर ये
and
बात बड़ी
Hanumanji
जरूरी है,
sits
क्योंकि एक
on
नया पॉइंट आपके
that
बीच में आया
flag or the chariot.
कि अर्जुन के रथ की ध्वजा
So,
पर हनुमान जी
so
क्यों
we need
बैठे
to
हैं?
understand why Hanumanji
इस पर
sits
एक
on
बहुत सुंदर
the
इतिहास है।
chariot of
एक बार
Arjuna. There is a
आप श्लोक में
pastime.
देखते हैं ना, कपिध्वज अंतिम शब्द है कपिध्वज।
So this
अर्जुन
Kapidwaja,
के रथ की
in the
ध्वजा पर
last
कपि
word of this verse,
हनुमान जी विराजते हैं।
so Hanumanji sits on
एक
his
बार क्या हुआ?
chariot. So
अर्जुन
one time what
विचरण
happened,
करते करते करते
Arjun was roaming
रामेश्वर पहुंच गए
and he went to Rameshwaram
और
or
रामेश्वर में
reached to
उसने
Rameshwaram,
देखा
and there he saw
कि बहुत बड़ा समुद्र है
there is a huge
और
sea
समुद्र पर सेतु बनाया हुआ है
and there is a bridge,
और हनुमान जी वहां पर उपस्थित थे
and Hanumanji was there
और हनुमान जी से अर्जुन
present,
मिले। अर्जुन इतना जानते
and they
नहीं थे,
met
हनुमान जी से मिलन हुआ।
him
आप कौन?
and he was not
अर्जुन ने पूछा।
much aware. So
आप
Arjuna
हनुमान जी
asked, who
जानते
are
हैं?
you? So
बोले
you
हम
are
हरि
aware
दास में राम का
that
दूत।
Hanumanji said
बोले
that
राम
I
जी,
am the
बोले राम
servitor
जी
of
जिन्होंने इस रामेश्वर में
Ramji.
यहाँ सेतु
And
बनाया,
so he said, who Ram?
यहाँ
So
से
he
पार
said that the
किया।
one who made this bridge to go
तब
to
अर्जुन ने हंसते
Lanka
हंसते को
from
कहा, आपके प्रभु राम जो है ना,
Rameshwaram.
मुझे नहीं
So
लगता कि
Arjuna
ज्यादा
says that
बुद्धिमान है।
I don't
ज्यादा
think that your
इंटेलिजेंट
Lord
नहीं है।
Ram is very intelligent.
बोले
So
आपके
Hanumanji
प्रभु
asks why?
रामचंद्र जी ने
He says that
समुद्र पर सेतु बनाने के लिए
to
इतने
make
सारे
this
वानरों को
bridge,
काम धंधे पे लगा
he
दिया। इतना
he
इतना बुद्धि
employed so
दिया कि
many
जरा वानरों की पीठ रगड़ गई। इतना पत्थर ला
monkeys
ला के
and
डाल डाल के कितना बड़ा मेहनत।
they had to carry so many huge
यदि
stones
मन में एक
that they
धनुष बाण चढ़ा दिया
got
होता तो
scratches
सेतु बन गया
on
होता।
their
ये सारा इतना उद्यम करना, इतने
backs.
पत्थर से
So
सेतु
why?
बनाना
What was the need of this endeavor? Just by shooting an arrow, the bridge could have
हनुमान जी
been
ने कहा कि
formed.
देखो सेतु इसलिए
Hanumanji
बना
said that
क्योंकि हम
he
इसमें
made the
बहुत सारे
bridge
वानर थे और
because
हम सबको उस
we
पर
were so
चढ़ना
many
था,
monkeys
वो पुल थोड़ा सा
and we
वजन
all
वाला पुल
had
था,
to
इसलिए अर्जुन ने कहा इसमें कौन सी
walk on
ताकत
that
है,
and we
मैं
wanted
मेरे गांडीव से पुल का
strength
निर्माण कर
on
दूं
this bridge. He said that that's not a
और
big
उसे
feat.
तोड़कर तुम दिखाओ।
I can
हनुमान जी
make one
तोड़कर
bridge
दिखा दूं तो
by
और
my
दोनों
bow
जने
and
हंसने
arrow
लगे।
Gandhi. And then they
जब
had a
हनुमान जी ने
bet.
कहा कि तू समुद्र पर सेतु बना दे, मैं तोड़ दूंगा। अर्जुन ने कहा तुम तोड़
And
नहीं पाओगे। अर्जुन ने कहा कि यदि मैं हार जाऊं
Hanumanji
तो मैं
challenged that
आत्महत्या
I
कर
will
लूंगा।
break the bridge that you will
हनुमान जी ने
make.
कहा तो ठीक है, मैं
And
हारा तो मैं आत्महत्या कर लूंगा।
Arjun says that
मरने तक की शर्त लगा
if
दी।
it happens, I will kill myself.
अर्जुन ने कहा कि
And
ठीक है,
Hanumanji says that if I'm not
सेतु
able
बना
to,
रहा हूं,
then I
तुम्हारे
will
थोड़ी
kill
देर के लिए
myself.
कूदना है, करो और तोड़ कर दिखा दो।
So
अर्जुन ने
Arjuna said,
धनुष
I'm
बाण
making this
चढ़ाया,
bridge
गांडीव
and
उठाया,
I challenge you to
मंत्र
break
आदि
this one.
करके चढ़ा दिया
And through
और समुद्र पर
the
सेतु बांध दिया और कहा हनुमान जी जाओ
chance, he
तोड़ कर
made a
दिखाओ।
bridge and told him that
हनुमान जी
now
जैसे ही
go
सेतु पर
and
चढ़े,
break the
जय श्री
bridge.
राम
So
बोलकर
as
एक
soon
पांव चापा, तीतर भीतर अर्जुन का जो पुल था वो सब उड़ गया, पूरा तीतर भीतर।
as Hanumanji just kept
अर्जुन को
his
पसीना
feet,
आता है, यार
the bridge shattered and
ये नहीं कर सकता
Arjun
तो क्या
was
करूं?
became anxious
बहुत
and was
कठिन बात थी।
sweating profusely.
अब
And he
उसको
says
पता
that,
था
oh,
कि
had I
अर्जुन
not done this,
अर्जुन
now
घर
I
से
will
निकला
have
शिकार
to
करने, पता नहीं था इतना दूर रामेश्वर
suicide
पहुंच जाएगा
or
और
kill
कृष्ण
myself.
उसका पीछा करते करते आ रहे थे।
and Krishna was following them. Arjuna was about to kill himself. As, as soon as he was about to do the same, Krishna arrived and he said that, "What are you doing?" He said that I have challenged Hanumanji and now I have lost it. So now I need to kill myself. So Krishna says that whenever there is a match, there is a referee or an umpire. Without any judge, there cannot be any judgment. So you played, but there was no umpire or referee. So how can we come to a decision or conclusion? So do it again, and then I will be the umpire and let me judge what happens. Hanumanji got overconfident because he has already done the same. So, so they said, okay, we can do the same again. So Krishna told Arjuna that raise your Gandhi and shoot the arrow. And he made the bridge and he said that, is it ready? Shall I walk? So when Hanumanji, so Krishna made it, gave it the strength with his eyes, and he was holding, and Hanumanji tried hard. Hanumanji was doing Sankirtana, but the bridge was unshattered. Now Hanumanji was worried and anxious that this one is not breaking up. So Hanumanji asked for forgiveness. Arjuna asked for forgiveness. And these both are pure devotees. And there cannot be any jealousy or envy between them. But this pastime is done for our understanding. So Krishna says that you both are great, but you both got this. So you got this pride of your position or your education. So if you stay, so when you dwell with people who are below us, then we will have pride. And if we mingle with our seniors, then they don't see any problem with anyone. So they don't even tell if we are doing something wrong. So if we really want to be humble, then we should mingle with people who are of our same stature. Then there is no scope of pride, and we try to run away from them because our ego gets hurt, and that is why we don't want to be with them. We, we either want to stay with people who are below us, like who are junior to us, because they always will flatter us, or our seniors because they won't say anything to us. So since that day, Hanumanji stayed with Arjuna on his flagstaff of his chariot. So Arjunji is coming back, and 7 months have passed. And on the other hand, what happened? This righteous king Yudhishthir was seeing bad omens. This is true. That if there is something bad about to happen, then there are some bad omens.
कुछ कुछ ऐसा इंडिकेट होता है, परमात्मा देते हैं कि भाई देख संभल देना, कुछ गड़बड़ होने वाली है.
So
तो
the Lord gives us signs that something is going to happen.
धर्मराज के सामने अवसर
And he is a righteous king,
युधिष्ठिर महाराज का वाम
Yudhishthir,
अंग फुरकने लगा,
and
युधिष्ठिर
his
महाराज का हृदय
right
कांपने लगा.
body was
हस्तिनापुर के कुत्ते
shaking,
युधिष्ठिर महाराज
his
के
heart
सामने
was,
देखकर रोने लगे.
and
खून की वर्षा होने लगी. हस्तिनापुर में आज खून की बारिश होने लगी.
so
हस्तिनापुर में भूकंप,
there was a rainfall of blood,
हस्तिनापुर के मंदिरों की मूर्तियों
and
की आंखों से आंसू की धारा होने लगी.
the deities in the temples had tears in their eyes.
कुछ
And Yudhishthirji understood that something is not right.
महीने के बाद अर्जुन पहुंचे हैं.
And
एक बार
after those
दूसरी बार
7
अर्जुन
months,
का पहुंचना, बता बता भाई,
Arjun
अर्जुन कृष्ण
reaches
किस हाल में है,
and
कृष्ण
he's
क्या कर
asked,
रहे हैं, कृष्ण की खबर क्या है,
"What is the
मुझे
news of
सुनाओ,
Krishna?
कृष्ण की
Please
पत्नियां
tell
कैसी,
me.
उनके बेटे कैसे हैं,
How
कैसे
is
हैं
his family, his
वसुदेव
wives,
जी, कैसी
etc.?
है देवकी."
How is Vasudevji and
वे
Devaki?
बहुत व्याकुल हो गए
Please
हैं.
tell me. I'm very
अर्जुन
anxious to
कहते
know."
हैं, अर्जुन
Then
कहते हैं
Arjuna says,
कि भैया
"Oh brother,
मैं एक दुखमय समाचार लेकर आया हूँ.
I have a
बोला
sad
क्या
news
हुआ?
to share." He says,
बोले
"What
हमारा
happened?"
प्राण, हमारा
He
नाथ,
says that
हमारा ईश्वर, हमारा
our
कृष्ण हमें छोड़कर चला गया है.
Lord Krishna has left us.
इतना सुनते ही धर्मराज
After
युधिष्ठिर
hearing
धरती पर
this,
गिर गए. अर्जुन रोते हुए कहते हैं
Yudhishthir
कि भैया
fell on the ground.
हम तो श्री विहीन हो गए,
Arjuna
हम
says that
अनाथ
now
हो
we are
गए, भैया हम बर्बाद
bereft
हो गए,
of the fortune.
क्योंकि हमारा
Now
कृष्ण
we are
हमें छोड़
ruined
चला.
because our Krishna has left us.
और कृष्ण के चले जाने का प्रभाव अभी अभी मैं देखकर आया.
And I have
क्यों
seen
अर्जुन?
the consequences of Krishna leaving
अर्जुन
us.
कहता है
He says
कृष्ण
that
की
what did
पत्नियों
you
को
saw?
लेकर
So
हस्तिनापुर
Arjuna
जा
says
रहा
that
था.
I was bringing
मैं वन के मार्ग से जा रहा
Krishna's
था.
wives
मुझे
to
मार्ग में
Hastinapur,
कुछ कोल
and we
भर
were
के बालक
crossing
मिले और उनके साथ मेरी मुठभेड़ हुई,
the
मेरा युद्ध हुआ
forest,
और
and
उन
then there
बच्चों ने
was
मुझे
a
हरा दिया.
fight with some
भैया आप
kids,
विचार
and
तो करो
I
कि
got
मैं जो
defeated by
भगवत
those
गीता
kids.
14वें अध्याय में सब लिखा है
So this is mentioned in the 14th
कि भैया मैं
chapter in
अर्जुन हूँ,
Bhagavatam,
मेरा
first
पराक्रम
canto,
को आप याद करो.
that
महाराज
if
द्रुपद
you
की सभा
see
में अनेक वीर
how
महाराजाओं के अभिमान को तोड़ा,
courageous I had,
अवसर का
I
भेदन
have
किया.
performed so
मैंने
many
द्रुपद की
feats
कन्या
that
द्रौपदी
were
को शादी
impossible.
की.
I married Draupadi after
मैंने अपने गांडीव की टंकार से शिव जी को प्रसन्न किया और
fulfilling
शस्त्र ग्रहण.
the
भैया मैं अपने
desire
प्राणों
of
को
Drupad,
देकर
and I
इंद्र के
made
आगे
Shiva
आसन
happy
लेकर
and
स्वर्ग में
satisfied,
जाकर बैठा. और अभी
and
अभी
I
इसी
was
गांडीव के
able
द्वारा
to go
मैंने
to the heavenly
कुरुक्षेत्र
planet
के
of
रणभूमि
Swarga,
में दुर्योधन की सेना को जैसे कोई बादल
and I
छोटे छोटे
have
पक्षियों को रौंद देता है, ऐसे मैंने
defeat,
सारी सेना को रौंद दिया.
defeated
आज वही अर्जुन,
the
वही
army
बाण,
of
वही बल
Duryodhana
सब
like
कुछ
a
हो गया.
eagle
लेकिन इस
kills
अर्जुन
small
को
birds.
वीर के बच्चों ने हरा दिया. भैया
But
मैंने
this
जीवन में
Arjuna
कितने
was
बड़े बड़े
defeated
पराक्रम
by
किए, लेकिन आज
children
छोटे छोटे बच्चों से
of
मैं हार गया. आज मुझे पता चला,
villagers,
आज मुझे
and
पता चला
now
भैया
I
कि मैंने
realized
मेरे जीवन में
that
जितने जितने पराक्रम किए,
whatever
इसके
I
पीछे
had
एक ही
achieved
कारण
in
था.
this life,
अखिल
the
ब्रह्मांड
only
नायक
reason
कृष्ण
was
मेरे
that
साथ था.
the Supreme Personality of Godhead was
और
with
जब तक
me.
कृष्ण मेरे साथ था,
And till
जगत
he
ने
was with
बड़े बड़े
me,
काम कर दिखाए.
I was able
लेकिन आज
to
जब
do
कृष्ण मुझे
such
छोड़कर चला गया,
complex things
मैं
in my
छोटे
life.
छोटे
But
बच्चों से
now that
हार
he is
गया.
no more with
आज मुझे
me,
पता चला भैया,
I
यत्र
got
योगेश्वर
defeated by
कृष्ण,
kids.
यत्र पार्थ
And now I
धनुर्धर,
realize that
तत्र श्री विजय भूति ध्रुवम नीति मतिर मम. जहां योग योगेश्वर कृष्ण है, वहीं पर विजयी है.
that wherever Krishna is there, there only it's the
पर आज जब
victory.
योगेश्वर चला गया, कृष्ण चला गया,
And now that he is
तो
not
मेरा
with
सारा
me,
पराक्रम खत्म हो गया. हम और आप
all
क्या
my
करेंगे? मैं
bravery
अच्छा कुछ
is
बोलता
lost,
हूँ,
all my
अच्छा
courage
गा
is lost.
लेते हो, कुछ लोग
So
अच्छी सेवा
please
कर देते हैं.
understand that
हम जो भी
some people do good service, I say something good, or some sing very well. So we are able to perform these feats because we have Krishna with us. When we have pride, Krishna will leave us and then
समय
everything will
समय
become
बलवान
zero.
है, नहीं
So
मनुष्य
time
बलवान
is
है।
very
समय
strong,
समय
not
बलवान है,
a living being.
नहीं मनुष्य बलवान, क्योंकि काबे अर्जुन लूटियो, वही धनुष वही बाण।
Because
वही
Arjuna
धनुष
was
वही
defeated
धनुष
despite
वही
of
बाण।
having the same bow
लेकिन
and
अर्जुन
arrow.
के जीवन से कृष्ण आउट, अर्जुन हार गया।
As Krishna has left,
जब तक
so
कृष्ण थे
Arjuna
बड़े बड़े पराक्रम कर दिखाए। लेकिन ये सब
became
याद आ रहा है, बताइए
courageous.
बिल्कुल
So
नई बात,
I
ताजी फ्रेश,
understand.
फ्रिज में से निकाली, फ्रिज नहीं खेती में से, बिल्कुल खेत में से ला के आपको
Past time that I just want to share, it's very
अद्भुत सी
fresh
हुई बात।
from the fields.
जब द्रुपद की सभा
I
में
heard
गया
from
था,
Acharyas
ध्यान से सुनिएगा, ये सब
when,
पांडव गण तो
listen
रावण का
carefully,
वेश धारण, वो जो
all these
लाक्षागृह में आग लगाने के लिए वो तो
Pandavas,
चले गए थे,
after the
और
fire
फिर
of the
रावण का वेश
Lakshagriha
लेकर
or
घूमते
the
थे।
Lacquer Palace,
फिर पता चला
and
कि महाराज द्रुपद
they
ने
took the form of
स्वयंवर से ज्ञान
Brahmanas,
अर्जन किया
and
है।
they got to know that Drupad has arranged for
तो
a
कृष्ण भी
swayamvar
अब
for
आप
his
जानते हैं ना, जिस
daughter
कथा में तो हम देखते हैं
Draupadi.
कि उस सभा में ही कृष्ण और अर्जुन का आमना सामना हुआ। श्री
And it
कृष्ण
is mentioned that
बलराम को बोले
here
नहीं, मुझे अर्जुन को
Krishna
स्वयं मिलना
meets
है,
Arjuna,
क्योंकि वो तो ब्राह्मण का रूप लेकर आए थे, कथा हम
and
सब जानते हैं।
Krishna says that
लेकिन
he
जिस दिन
looks like
आपको कृष्ण
Arjuna.
अर्जुन के स्वप्न में आए,
So that time
कृष्ण
Krishna came in
भाई
dream
अर्जुन
of
तुम्हें नींद
Arjuna,
क्यों नहीं आ रही है?
and he says that why you're not able to sleep.
अर्जुन कहते हैं कि कल
And
इतने बड़े बड़े राजा
Krishna
आएंगे
says that
और
Arjuna
मत्स्य
says
का
that
भेदन करना है,
no, tomorrow so many great
मेरे
kings are
हाथ
going to
से
come,
मत्स्य का
and
भेदन होगा
I
ही होगा।
have
एक
to
तो द्रौपदी नहीं मिलेगी, दूसरा मेरे
tear the
सागर का
eye
भेदन
of the
होगा,
fish.
ये मुझे
So
बड़ी
if
चिंता है।
I lose, I will
कृष्ण ने कहा
not even lose my dignity and
अर्जुन तुम
the
कल
chance to
आराम से
win
मत
over
सो जाओ,
Draupadi. So Krishna
कल
says that
सुबह
don't worry, tomorrow when you wake up
और उस सभा में पहुंचकर
and when you reach there,
अपना पूरा ध्यान मत्स्य के ऊपर
just
रखना,
concentrate on that
अच्छे से बाण
fish
चलाना,
and
अच्छे से निशाना देना। कृष्ण ने बहुत
aim
गहरी
carefully.
बातें बताई। अर्जुन ने कहा कि सब मैं ही करूंगा, आप क्या करोगे?
So Arjuna says that everything I am
सब
going
मैं
to
ही
do,
करूंगा,
what will
फिर आप
you
क्या
do?
करोगे? अर्जुन, जो तू नहीं कर
So
पाएगा ना,
Krishna
वो
says
मैं
that
करूंगा।
what you won't be able
क्या?
to do, I will do that.
बोले
And he says,
मुझे
what?
पानी में
And
देखकर
he
मत्स्य का
says
भेदन करना है।
that
बोला मुझे
seeing
पानी में
the
देखना है
fish
और
in
घूमती हुई मछली की
fish's
आंखों में तीर
reflection
मारना
in the
है,
water, and then you have to
और
aim
पानी
at
भी
the
कैसा
eye
होगा? वेव्स,
of the fish.
लहरों वाला।
And the
पानी
water
ऐसे
will be
घूमता
with
होगा,
waves,
तो पानी तो अस्थिर होगा, और उस अस्थिर पानी में
which will be dynamic, not static.
मत्स्य देकर ऊपर मारना है। कृष्ण ने कहा कि तू ये सब कर लेना, मैं क्या
You do
करूंगा?
all this.
मैं पानी
What
को
I will
स्थिर
do
कर
is
दूंगा।
I will make the water static.
मतलब सबसे कठिन जॉब मैं कर दूंगा तेरी।
So the toughest
सिद्धांत
part I will perform.
कि
So
हम
this is the
एक कदम लेकर
principle
जाए,
that
कृष्ण
if we
100
walk
कदम
one
आगे
step,
बढ़ाने के लिए तैयार
Krishna comes
है।
100
लेकिन
steps
कृष्ण
forward for us.
अपेक्षित हैं,
But
वो आशा रखते हैं कि ये
he
मेरा भक्त
expects
आगे बढ़े,
that
ये
this
आगे
devotee
बढ़े,
should move
ये नाम
forward.
की माला उठाए, ये कथा सुने,
He chants holy
और फिर
names,
अर्जुन
he
से
listens
परीक्षा
to
पूरी
the
करे।
katha, and then he will perform the difficult feats for
महाभारत में श्री
us.
कृष्ण ने कहा ना अर्जुन को, अर्जुन तुझे
It's
आगे
mentioned in
बढ़ना है,
Mahabharata also.
तुझे केवल
Arjuna,
यश लेना है,
Krishna says to
युद्ध नहीं
Arjuna,
हमारा,
yet
युद्ध तो मुझे
what
करना है।
you have
अपनी आंखों की
to
दृष्टि
do
से
nothing.
दुष्ट को
You
मारना
just
है,
have to take the credit
युद्ध।
because
लेकिन महाराज
I will be killing them with my own
आज ये
eyes.
प्रसंग इसको याद आ रहे हैं। अर्जुन कह रहे हैं
So
कि कृष्ण
Arjuna is remembering all these
इसलिए मैं
pastimes,
छोटे छोटे बच्चों से हार गया।
and he says that
जब एक
because
साल
Krishna
का
is not
बच्चा
there, I
अर्जुन को
got
पीछे
defeated
करता है
by
तो बहुत
kids.
लंबी है, मैंने पहले ही कहा
So this
ये प्रसंग विस्तार से
pastime
याद
is
दिलाना
very
है,
long,
श्लोकों के
and
साथ।
it should be done in detail with
मैं आगे
verses.
बढ़ूं।
But let's
जब
discuss at least one or two
युधिष्ठिर ने
verses.
कहा,
So when
युधिष्ठिर
Yudhishthir ji
धर्म का
heard this, and
पालन
he
करे,
is the epitome
धर्म
of
से पूछो
righteousness, he
हम नहीं,
says,
मुकुंद भगवान कृष्ण इस मही पर, इस धरती पर है, जहो स्वस्थवा श्रवणीय ससत कथा, तब तक ये धरती स्थिर है, तब तक इस धरती में धर्म और सत्कर्म है। तदा हरे वा प्रतिबुद्ध चेतसा ममद्र हेतु कलि अंत वर्तता। और जब कृष्ण इस मही को छोड़कर चले जाएंगे, मतलब चले गए हैं, तो कलि अनवर्ततः, तो कलयुग का प्रवेश हो चुका है।
So he says that since Krishna has left, so now Kali Yuga is about to come, because Kali Yuga was waiting for Krishna. So it is relevant for us also, like till the point the Lord is with us, there is no Kali Yuga. Till the time we are listening to the Katha or chanting the holy names, there won't be Kali Yuga in our lives. But when we stop all these activities, then we will have Kali Yuga in our life. So until Krishna is there is no scope of Kali Yuga in our lives. So, so this is the decision of Yudhishthira. All these Pandavas are quite young. They're very powerful and strong.
जी हाँ हिंससा अधर्म चक्रम गमनाय पर्यधात। धर्मराज समझ गए कि अब कलयुग प्रवेश होगा।
Dharmaraj understood that now Kali Yuga will enter the material world. And throughout it will enter, even it will enter our hearts. And as it becomes prevalent, then people will become greedy. They will become liars. They will try to cheat each other. And there will be cruelty towards each other. And there will be no righteousness in the society. So Yudhishthira said that before this such a day comes in our life, we should leave. I don't want to see all this. So, and he took that I want to leave now. So he said that Bhim, you can take care of the kingdom, but I don't want to stay here anymore. Because if Krishna is not there in this world, then what is the use of me staying or living here? Until unless there is an opportunity to serve the Lord, then what is the use of this life? So I want to go. So Bhim said that, so all the Pandavas said that we all want to accompany you. So Parikshit Maharaj was young and he was made the king, and all the Pandavas left from Hastinapur to Haridwar and from there to Himalayas. And it's mentioned in Mahabharata that it is mentioned that there was a dog from Hastinapur who started with them. So if there is righteousness in the king by the king, then even the dog will be able to reach the higher planets of Swarga. I remember the Srivas Pandit, when Srivas Pandit was fully surrendered to Nityanand Prabhu. And when Nityanand Prabhu asked that, why you are keeping such a foolish person in your home? So, he says that if even if Nityanand drinks liquor and comes, even then I will have not any I will have still have unshattered faith in him. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tested and he succeeded.
अरे मैं तो तुझ पर
He
प्रसन्न
said
हो
that
गया
you're so
श्रीवास,
much surrendered, Shrivas.
लक्ष्मी
I'm so
एक दिन
happy.
भिक्षा करे
He
नकुल
says
न
that
करे,
even
लक्ष्मी
if
को
the
एक दिन भिक्षा
goddess of
मांगनी पड़े,
fortune
लक्ष्मी लक्ष्मी उसको भिक्षा
goes
मांगनी पड़े,
roam
लेकिन एक बार लक्ष्मी
around
भिखारी हो
begging for
सकती है,
money,
लेकिन श्रीवास तेरे घर पर कभी
but
दरिद्रता नहीं आ सकती,
you will
क्योंकि तेरे
never
नित्यानंद
be,
अपने गुरु में इतनी निष्ठा है। और दूसरा, श्रीवास तू
you
तो
will
वैकुंठ
always be
छोड़ना,
affluent
चैतन्य बोल
or
रहा है,
opulent. And
तू तो
Chaitanya
वैकुंठ
Mahaprabhu says that
वृंदावन प्राप्त किया,
you are going
तोमार
to
बाड़ीर
go
कुकुर,
to
तेरी बाड़ी
Goloka.
का कुत्ता भी वैकुंठ
But
प्राप्त करेगा,
even
ये मेरा वचन है,
the dog
क्योंकि
of
मेरा
your
दर्शन है,
home will go to
भजन करने
Vaikuntha.
वाले के
This
लिए
is
कुत्ता भी
my
वैकुंठ जाता है।
promise.
आज धर्मराज युधिष्ठिर के साथ एक कुत्ता भी वैकुंठ को प्राप्त कर
So,
गया।
a dog who accompanied Yudhishthir Maharaj even reached Swarg.
साधु संत भी गलत नहीं है,
So,
गलत कोई है ही नहीं, बस
so
हमारी समझने में कुछ कमी होती
to
है,
make us
क्योंकि अभी
understand,
कुछ साधु संत
so
कहते हैं कि भाई जब
saints
पांडव
don't.
स्वर्गारोहण किए हस्तिनापुर से
So
हरिद्वार, हरिद्वार से
saints
हिमालय,
say
तो पहले नकुल और
that
सहदेव गिर गए, फिर
first
उनका
Nakul and
बहुत
Sahadev
अभिमान था, फिर अर्जुन गिरे, उनका
dropped
मृत्यु का
because
अभिमान था,
they
फिर
were
भीम गिरे क्योंकि वो जादू
proud
टोना
of
करते
the
थे,
knowledge, and
फिर
then Arjuna
युधिष्ठिर
because he
गिरे
was proud of
एक दिन
his
पहले
archery,
नरक का दर्शन
and
किया,
Bhima because
क्यों?
of
क्योंकि उन्होंने कृष्ण का
he used to
पान
eat
किया,
more.
वो झूठ बोले। ये हम लोगों की सीख के लिए
So
अच्छी बातें हैं, ये इसे सिद्धांत लेना
so
चाहिए,
these
समझना
are
चाहिए,
all told
लेकिन
to make us
निर्वाण की और महामृत
understand.
की जहाँ बात है, तो भक्तों इस बात को ठुकराया नहीं जा
But
सकता। श्रीमद्
in
भागवत में तो कहा
Bhagavatam
गया
it is
कि
mentioned,
लोगों
it
की सीख के लिए भले कहा गया कि युधिष्ठिर महाराज ने नरक का दर्शन ये किया वो किया,
is might be mentioned that
उनका
Yudhishthir
अंतःकरण
Maharaj
कैसा था,
met Nark
कहते हैं तद ध्यान
or the lower planetary system.
तद
But
ध्यान
here in Bhagavatam it's mentioned that,
उदत्रिया
see the verse carefully,
उद्रिक्तया भक्त्या विशुद्ध धिषणा परे तस्मिन् नारायणे पदे एकांत मतयो गतिम। उन पांचों पांडव जब हिमालय गए तो हिमालय
all
में
these Pandavas, when they went to Himalayas,
कृष्ण के ध्यान में
they
उद्रित
meditated on
उद्रित किया,
Krishna,
मतलब कृष्ण के ध्यान में पूर्ण रूप से बढ़ गई क्या
and
भक्तिया, भक्ति
they were
कैसी
completely
भक्ति,
surrendered
विशुद्ध
to
भक्ति,
the Lord, and
पांडवों की भगवान
their
श्री कृष्ण में
pure
विशुद्ध
devotional
भक्ति
service
थी,
towards the Lord was
और धिषणया परे,
manifested,
और उस विशुद्ध भक्ति बढ़ने के कारण इनका मन
and
भगवान
because
में
of
लगा,
that
और तस्मिन्
they could
नारायण
concentrate
पदे,
on the
और
Lord,
नारायण कृष्ण के चरणों में एकांत मन एकांत मतयो,
and with
इनका मन लगा और
the
गए
full concentration
परम
of their
गति
mind,
वैकुंठ गति
they
को प्राप्त कर गए।
they went to the Vaikuntha, or the
इस
eternal
प्रकार
abode of the Lord.
पांडवों का निर्वाण
So
हुआ।
this way
यदि कोई
the
भक्त
Pandavas got
पांडवों की
liberation or
तरह
nirvana,
जीना है, यह
and
ये
person
सब
who
जीवन
listens to this
भक्ति बनाना है,
pastime,
तो क्या
he
होता है
will
सबसे
get the
पहले
pure devotional service
यदा
of the
हरि
Lord.
भक्ति उपेति सिद्धि, वो हरि की भक्ति को प्राप्त करता है। तो
So
आज
he will
हरि
get
भक्ति प्राप्त
the
हो, ऐसे
bhakti of
महानुभावों
the
के
Lord.
निर्वाण की कथा सुनी, तो दो
So
श्रुति फल
we
यहाँ पर
heard
आज
this.
कंप्लीट हुए।
So we have
अब
completed two
तीसरे
Shruti
श्रुति फल में,
Phals.
चौथे श्रुति फल में, पांचवें श्रुति फल में धीरे धीरे
So
प्रवेश करेंगे।
gradually we will
इन
progress
प्रसंगों के द्वारा भागवत के
with
श्रुति फल
support
को
of the
जानेंगे,
pastimes of Bhagavatam. We will
और
try to understand,
श्रुति फल को हम प्राप्त भी लाभ
and we
करेंगे।
will
तो बहुत
get
धन्यवाद,
the
आप सभी
fruits.
भक्तों ने
I'm
बड़े
extremely
प्यार
grateful
से
to all of
इस
you
कथा में
because you all are
भगवत गीता
listening
को
with so
श्रवण
much
किया।
love, and
और विशेष धन्यवाद हमारे
I especially thank
कथा के आयोजक
the
हमारे आदरणीय
organizers,
भरद्वाज परिवार,
the
वशिष्ठ
Bharadwaj
परिवार
Parivar,
के
and the
पिताजी
Vashisht family,
श्रीमान सिंह जी,
Shriman Singh
मानसी
ji,
देवी,
Hansi
लक्ष्मी
Devi,
नारायण जी,
Lakshmi
मूर्ति
Narayan
देवी,
ji, Murti Devi
इंदर
ji,
सिंह जी
Indra
और
Singh,
उमा माता जी,
and Uma Mata ji.
इनके आशीर्वाद और इनके
By
सहयोग
their
से
mercy and
पूरे
blessings,
परिवार ने
this
कथा
whole
का आयोजन
family
किया। हमारे
has
राजेश जी
organized this
महाराज,
katha.
राजेश जी,
Rajesh
संजय जी,
ji,
नरेश
Sanjay
जी
ji,
और इनका
Naresh ji,
समग्र परिवार,
and their whole
बहुत
family.
बहुत धन्यवाद।
We are
इसी प्रकार
really
से आप आगे
thankful to
बढ़िए
all of you.
और
So
अपने
please
जीवन को
keep
धन्य
on
बनाइए।
listening to this katha and
कथा अभी तो
make
हुई
your
नहीं है,
life
तब तक
successful.
तो राजेश जी कहते हैं कि साल में 3 कथा करेंगे, साल में 4 कथा करेंगे।
So now just 2 days have passed and he's saying that we will try to organize this katha thrice or four times a year. So this is the great mellow of a devotee. So let's gather together and listen to the Bhagavatam Katha. Let's end the session with Jai Jaikar.